Chapter 25. If Heaton was going to tell him anything at all, Sean knew it would be at the weekend. That was when it had all gone down before, when they were off duty and could get off base with no questions asked. And so, half of him wanted more than anything for the weekend to come, and the other half dreaded it. And sure enough, half an hour after knocking off time on Friday, Sean was round at the flat and wishing like hell after what Heaton had just told him that he wasn't. What do they need an RPG for? He thought his question was natural, even if he was supposed to be working undercover. Sitting in Heaton's kitchen, he didn't feel undercover. He felt about as above cover as it's possible to get. How could Heaton not tell just by looking at him? I know what you did to Clark, you fucker. But after the time he'd spent with Copper, Sean had learnt to keep his feelings to himself, not letting on. So he sat there and kept his expression impassive, and listened to the corporal talk. Who cares? Heaton answered. Think of the money. The week after the interviews had gone by as if nothing had happened. On the Tuesday, the platoon was on a forced march that had most of them dead on their feet and close to throwing up. The next 3 days went much the same way, though instead of trying to kill them by running them into the ground, Franklin and Adams had them all going through numerous close-quarter combat drills. At those times, the theft of the SA-80s was like a memory of something Sean had seen in a movie, but at night, when he could lie in bed and stare at the ceiling, it all came back. Then he was acutely aware of the 2 lives he was now leading, one as an ordinary soldier, the other as the bloke who, thanks to some very bad decision-making, had ended up working secretly for MI5 to find stolen weapons and terrorists. Sean stared at the man he had once almost liked, and for the 1000th time, the rage that had consumed him ever since the meeting in the cars flared up like an acetylene flame. He quickly sat on it. I can't just think of the money, he replied. No one needs an RPG, not to defend themselves, unless they're in the middle of a firefight or into some seriously dodgy shit. Heaton pulled a couple of cans from the fridge and tossed one over. So what's he want it for? Sean asked him again when it became obvious that he wasn't saying anything else. Let's just say that it's for a cause we both care about. Well, that's vague as fuck. Heaton sipped his can. No, it isn't. It's exactly what we talked about before we hit the reservists. It's about protecting what we value from those who would blow it all to shit. Sean didn't reply. Think what happened to Clark, Heaton said. And Sean almost threw the beer in his face. That was exactly what he had been thinking. What's this got to do with that? Everything, Heaton said. Because Rich's whole thing is to stop people who do stuff like that. The smell of bullshit in the air was growing stronger by the second. You're having a laugh, mate. You see me laughing. You know what I mean. Well, don't let it bother your pretty little head, Heaton said. I was only letting you know about the RPG. I'll be the one sourcing it while you're off in London enjoying yourself. Sean blinked. While I'm what? Heaton grinned and raised his can in salute. Rich wants to meet you alone, golden boy. Congratulations. He's forgiven you for the rug, by the way. Says it was his wife's and he never liked it anyway. I said you'd be in Trafalgar Square at 1500 tomorrow.